Anyway, we know Tyrone Blackburn was involved in this lawsuit against Diddy. It was dropped over a year ago now, which is amazing to hear. And in the lawsuit, there's claims of several SAs, several certain assaults. There's alleged battery. And now it's looking like so many of these claims against Diddy are being dropped. We're going to talk about it here in a second. Of course, Tyrone Blackburn is the one representing the client here. The man is taking so many L's. I don't even know. He could probably fill up a swimming pool. Let's see what's going on. Courtesy of TMZ. What did they say? Diddy says, I'm on a hot streak in court. Assault claim withdrawn from this lawsuit. And this just happened within the last 24 hours. Diddy is on a roll, legally speaking, because he keeps racking up a win in court. Man, it's crazy. After outfoxing federal prosecutors, he's now dealing a major blow to one of his SA accusers. What happened? Here's the deal. A woman named April Lampros, we talked about her, sued Diddy last year, claiming he assaulted her multiple times in the 1990s, but those allegations are no longer a part of the lawsuit. Shocker. According to new legal documents obtained by TMZ, the woman's claims for battery, assault of a sexual nature, and negligent infliction of emotional distress have been dismissed. The judge said, we ain't doing that. Sorry, Tyrone. The suit filed by Tyrone Blackburn also listed Bad Boy Records as a defendant, claiming the company enabled him to commit the alleged crimes. But now all claims against Bad Boy have been dismissed. No, Diddy is on a hot streak right now. The only claim remaining here is one under the gender motivated violence protection law based on the alleged incident late in 2000 and early 2001. We're going to get into it in a second. Lampros says Diddy went back to her apartment after they bumped into each other in New York City and violently grabbed her and forced himself onto her. She says she was able to fight Diddy off and he left. Diddy's camp tells us that the dismissals significantly narrow this particular civil case, but Blackburn says it's a win. What?
Stop the cap.
The case moves forward and discovery begins. As you know, Diddy dodged a bullet last week when he was acquitted on racketeering and trafficking charges in a federal criminal trial, with prosecutors taking a momentous loss by only being able to secure convictions on the lesser charges involving the prostitution. Which is funny because they called Cassie and Jane Doe basically prostitutes. Yikes. Diddy's lawyers tell TMZ Mr. Combs' trial and acquittal on trafficking and RICO charges prove what we've been saying all along. Mr. Combs never assaulted or trafficked anyone. And that's true so far. They add, he will fight for as long as necessary to win his full vindication. Now, we're going to get into the lawsuit a little bit later and talk about specifics of what was dropped and what she was alleging, she being April Lampros. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit more insight and background into why the judge is saying they made this decision. So check this out from Billboard magazine. Shout out to Billboard. They say Diddy can't be sued over alleged assaults from the 1990s, the judge says. The ruling significantly narrows the claims of April Lampros, who was the 7th alleged victim to sue the rapper last year. I wonder if we're going to see more and more of these lawsuits just start to fall away. Think about this, guys, for a second before we get into this article. Their star witness in a federal case being prosecuted by I don't even know what to call them, by an entity that has a 98% success rate. Couldn't even prove that this man had a RICO. They couldn't prove that he trafficked anyone. And now we have all these civil lawsuits still being filed as we speak. We covered the one against Diddy and his son Justin last week. And we're still seeing these lawsuits here. I wonder if some of these charges are going to fall off. As we know, of course, the civil lawsuits, the burden of proof is not as high as in a criminal case. But I don't know, maybe some of these lawsuits will realize that it's not worth their time. What did the judge say? A judge has dismissed rape. Whoa, I said the word. I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube. They're going to get me. The judge has dismissed assault claims from one of the many civil lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, ruling that The statute of limitations has expired for allegations that the assault mogul forced a woman to have intercourse and oral intercourse in the 1990s. April Lamprose's claims against Diddy were trimmed down in a Tuesday, July 8th ruling from the New York judge Leslie A. Stroth. Lamprose was the seventh accuser to file an SA lawsuit against Diddy in May of 2024, relatively early in the rapper's legal salvo that culminated in a criminal trial this month. Lamprose alleged she met Combs when she was a student at a Fashion Institute of Technology in 1994, and that he drugged and assaulted her both in her privates and in her mouth on two separate nights in 1995. Combs allegedly assaulted Lamprose again after forcing her to have intercourse with his then girlfriend, Kim Porter, in 1996. That's what the lawsuit claimed. So Kim Porter was Cassie 1.0. Is that what we're saying? Oh, Lord. Lamprose's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, brought the claims under the New York City's Gender Motivated Violence Act, which was amended in 2022 to open up a 2-year window for assault victims to file a claim that would be typically barred by statute of limitations. But what did Judge Stroth say? That pursuant to recent ruling in a New York appellate court, this claim window only applies to alleged instances of SA that occurred after the GMVA's original passage in December of 2000. Oh, so they missed the window. The judge says, therefore, the plaintiff's claims for acts before December 19th, 2000, are dismissed as untimely, writes the judge. This means all three instances where Diddy allegedly assaulted Lamprose are no longer a part of her lawsuit. She is allowed, however, to continue suing Combs over a fourth incident in which she says the rapper forcibly kissed her and grabbed her in the early aughts. I don't know what that means. Lamprose does not know the exact dates of this encounter, saying it happened in either late 2000 or early 2001. To the extent that there is a question as to the conduct occurring in a year 2000, such are not dismissed at this time, as further discovery is needed to determine the exact date of the alleged incidents, Judge Stroth said. So there's still a chance that this entire lawsuit could be dismissed. The judge just said, hey, we're still looking for further discovery. We need to get some more information. And if I find that there's nothing there, then we might have to let this go. Wow. I'll be interested to see what discovery shows. Combs reps celebrated the decision in a statement on Tuesday, which they say significantly narrows the civil case, and it might be a win for Diddy. Importantly, this ruling was made at the pleading stage, and no evidence on the surviving claim has been submitted to court, added Combs' team. Mr. Combs has not yet had the opportunity to contest those false allegations, and the court's decision thus does not address their truth. Blackburn, Tyrone, who's behind many of the pending civil lawsuits against Diddy, tells Billboard he's proceeding full steam ahead, of course he is, with Lamprose's remaining claim. I wonder if April's looking for a new attorney, because Tyrone's been taking too many L's lately. I sent Diddy's counsel notice I intended to depose Sean Combs within 60 days, and I will be serving discovery demands this evening, Tyrone Blackburn says. Lamprose sued Diddy early in the litigation onslaught that began with singer Cassie Ventura in November of 2023. Combs quickly settled Cassie's case for $20 million. He should have done it before the news came out, but here we are. But a deluge of similar lawsuits followed. Prosecutors opened a criminal investigation, and Combs was indicted and arrested last year on charges of trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution. Last week, Combs was convicted of the prostitution counts after the 7-week trial, but jurors acquitted him of running a criminal enterprise and forcing Cassie and another anonymous woman known as Jane Doe to have intercourse with escorts during drug-fueled marathons he called freak-offs. The rap mogul, who denied all allegations in both criminal and civil cases, is due for sentencing in October. In the meantime, continuing the fight the lawsuits brought by Lampros and dozens of other alleged victims. Wow, Diddy's out here winning, guys. What do y'all think? Do you think he's going to beat this eventually? Do you think there's enough for the judge to say, all right, we're going to let this move forward. Let's get into discovery. Is there enough evidence to show that the situation she's alleging in the fourth incident is true? Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. Make sure you look out for the other video. We're going to talk about what actually happened in the lawsuit, what's being alleged, and which parts of the lawsuit were actually dropped there. So let me know what y'all think.